Hello! Here I am again with more questions from you guys for my Dreadlocks Q&A series, which is when I take questions that you people out there have left in the comment section down here, and then I answer them. Well, attempt to answer them as best I can. 14th in the series, let's get on with the show. Keezywork question. Hello, Mr. Lazy Dreads. Mr. Lazy Dreads, I like that. I've watched all of your videos and you have been a great help to me in my dread journey so far. My dreads are fairly young, 2 to 3 months, so are beginning to lock and some not so much. Do you think my dreads are mature enough to give them a deep cleanse? Thank you. If you're going to do a basic bicarb deep cleanse, you can do that whenever you want, that's fine. You can be gentle in the tub with those. You'll find a link to that one here. On this side, I'll put a link to my super deep cleanse, which is a little bit different. I'll put links for both of them down here for those of you watching on mobile devices. The basic bicarb deep cleanse is just bicarbonate of soda and water, and you can put some sea salt in there, and that'd be pretty good for young dreads. The super deep cleanse has some added oils and is finished off with the apple cider vinegar. Now, apple cider vinegar is a conditioner. It makes the dreads really soft and bendy, which is nice for mature dreads that are otherwise a bit, you want them to be a little bit softer and nicer. But with young dreads, you can find that is going to give you more loose hair than you anticipated, because you don't really want young dreads to be softer. So you can do either, but I would be either really conservative with the apple cider vinegar in the super deep cleanse, either cut it out completely, don't use so much, or probably better to really heavily dilute it. In my video I just put straight ACV onto my head, which some of you might not want to do because that is not nice for your eyes, but you can empty your bowl out that you used for the first part of the deep cleanse, refill it with hot water and just put some ACV in there, just a little bit, and then you can squeeze it out, and maybe that would be better for you. But the concept of deep cleaning your hair is fine, it's just the individual ingredients may not be so good with young dreads, depending on which ingredients you're going to go for. Reakwondashef question. I have 5-week-old dreads and they seriously look like my normal hair. You can feel the knots in them, but from a distance it looks like regular hair. Is this normal? Thanks. There isn't really a normal with dreadlocks. There is only a very, very rough guide. I would say it depends on how you started them. I'm assuming you didn't go natural/neglect, because then it would be expected that it would look like your normal hair. But I'm assuming you went with backcombing or twist and rip, and they've got kind of soft and they look loose. But since you say you can feel some knots in them, then I wouldn't worry too much. As long as you're not washing them with something that is going to condition them and soften them further, then given enough time they will turn into dreadlocks. But I know all too well how annoying it is when your dreadlocks are young and people come up and say things like, "Oh, are you starting dreadlocks? You should get those redone," or "Your hair would be great for dreadlocks." Like, I'm aware, that's what I'm trying to do. Patience is required. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. I mean, if you started over, you'd probably find that you'd get back to this stage again, so I would just try and power through it. Number 5, word 5, 5, 12. Question, I have very young dreads, just 2 weeks old, and there's around 4 inches of not knotted/dreaded hair between my scalp and where the dread starts. I used the twist and rip method and had around 14 inches of very curly and fairly thick hair. Just wondering if this is normal length between my scalp and the dread, even for being so early on. That is quite a lot of loose hair, but since you started off with 14 inches, that means you've got like 10 inches worth of hair still twisted and ripped up. And as long as there's something twisted and ripped up to hold the section together, then the rest will catch up. Because when you start the dreads, you are not actually making dreads, you are just getting those sections of hair, holding them together with some knots, and then eventually they will lock up into dreadlocks. So as long as you have at least some of it still knotted, then the rest will knot up above and below it and stuff. And you really don't want to have to try and undread that 10 inches worth to start over and get it a little bit tighter at the root. I'd just try and ignore it for now. Because yeah, if you took them out, it would take a very, 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 very long time, and it would be very annoying and painful. And most likely you'd start over and find that you get loose patches again. Given enough time, it will all catch up. Antonin Dach. Question. I have young small dreads and I fear about pulling them apart when they want to grow together at the roots because it breaks my hair, and small dreads don't have much to spare. That's one of the problems with having really thin dreads. When they're young and soft, they can, really be annoying. And since they're thin, they don't have a whole lot of hair to spare. And they can grow tight, and you don't want to be too rough with them. What I'd recommend if you're having a really tough time with it is get a friend and then get some scissors and then pull the dreads apart, and then with scissors, like, really carefully. I mean, you can clip one individual hair at a time, maybe. I mean, that'd be quite slow, but then you can cut right down to the root, and they'll be less likely to get as bad then. Because what tends to happen is you get two dreads and you'll rip, and you won't be able to rip all the way down to the root because it gets painful and you just don't have the leverage to pull it. So there'll still be a few between some dreads, and then as they grow out, then it lifts those hairs off, and then you're able to pull those, but then by that time some more hairs have come across. So scissors and a friend may be better for you if you're having to be really careful with really thin dreads. As they get older, you'll find that you don't need to do it as much. Lockie Lave. Question: is there a way to get the smell of smoke out of my hair? I wash my hair all the time, and no matter what kind of shampoo I use, it still smells of smoke. Sigh. Please help me smell pretty again. Thank you. P.S. Love your videos. Watch them every time you upload. Cheers. I know you watch them, Lockie. You're like my #1 Facebook fan. Dreadlocks can be like a sponge for smells. I know that if I barbecue some food, then I go around smelling like a barbecue until I wash them. But I tend to find that I get the smells out relatively easily. After I've shampooed my hair, the smell is gone. If I was having something that was particularly hard to shift, I guess I would deep clean them. But again, I've never had a smell cling in my hair for very long. Maybe a deep clean would be the best route, because there may be something more in your hair, maybe residue or buildup or something that the smell is able to cling to better than just hair. Once you've got rid of the hair, you can get it to smell pretty again with an essential oils mist, which you can find a link to how to make it here. But if you've watched all my videos, then you already know about that video. Link down in the description for anyone who hasn't seen that and wants to find the essential oils nice smelling mist. But normal residue-free shampoos for dreads aren't really going to make them smell very pretty, so if you've been having a shampoo that's making them smell pretty, then maybe that is leaving residue behind, and then the smoke is better able to cling to that. A deep clean will tend to give you a complete blank slate, and you'll be able to do whatever you want with them then. Thank you all. If you have any questions yourself that you would like me to answer in this format, please leave them in the comment section, writing question at the start. If you don't want to answer, if you just want to leave a comment, normally you can do that if you want to comment on this video and such. You can find me on Twitter at lazy_dreads, where you can send me your questions and chat to me and do whatever you want to do. Facebook is facebook.com/lazydreads, and of course there's lazydreads.com, where you can find everything, and it's lots of stuff's written up, and it's easy to find your way through, from general dreadlocks information to pre-dreads information, maintaining, washing, drying, it's all there. Thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more. Farewell.